guys, and welcome back. I'm Trish Rodriguez with Higher Elevations Real Estate, local Georgia real estate agent with eXp Realty. Today, I'm joined by my friend Emily Price with the Richard Kelley Group, another local agent licensed in Georgia and North Carolina with REMAX Town & Country. Yes, we are with different agencies, but we enjoy collaborating together. So welcome, Emily.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Today, we're going to be discussing market updates in North Georgia and North Carolina. Emily is going to go over some recent sales in the area, and I will go over some interest rate predictions. And then we will get into some helpful information as you enter the 2024 market as a buyer or seller. So let's get started.
Thank you so much for having me today, Trish. I am very excited to be here and talk to you about the market and what I feel like we are experiencing this year, and maybe a little bit of history just to kind of get us started. The definition of market value is that a buyer and seller are typically motivated. The industry standard has always been an average listing time period of about 6 months, and that's kind of when you know that both parties in a transaction are, I like the word typically motivated, but are in the same kind of buying, selling position in those kinds of scenarios. What we saw, pre-COVID in this North Georgia, Western North Carolina region is that most of the listings were 6 months plus. It was most definitely a buyer's market during that time period. And for really about the decade prior to that, inventory was high, the days on market was there was a lot of flexibility in pricing. And then we had the infamous COVID time period, which has created all kinds of different scenarios as it relates to our market. But specifically real estate here in the North Georgia and Western North Carolina, we experienced a market that we had never seen before. Demand, pricing rose, just so many people, buyers entering into this particular market. And honestly, who can blame them? In that time period, they literally were looking for fresh air, room to breathe, and they came to these beautiful mountains just to get that. After COVID, things really started changing in early 2023, maybe first quarter, between first and second quarter, you could kind of see that things were slowing down. The market was normalizing. Days on market was getting a little bit higher. Inventory was somewhat creeping up. And I would say that right now, Trish, that is also what we're experiencing in 2024. We are continuing to see our days on market are going up. They are incrementally going up. We are seeing our listing volume steadily increase. It's still very, very low, historic low levels, but it is slowly kind of creeping up. So right now in most of the markets, the Union County market, the Towns County, and the Clay County, North Carolina, we are seeing around 100 days on market as far as an average, give or take a few, but we're still not at the 6 month mark. We're still not a buyer and seller typically motivated. It is still a seller's market, but we are seeing that normalization continue to evolve. So the best advice I can give to folks right now is to sellers, be flexible, be realistic. This is not a COVID era market. Things have shifted. You've got to be willing to adjust to today's market. And then buyers, don't be afraid to come in to make offers. I do think there is flexibility in pricing, more flexibility than we've seen in the last 3 years. Thank you so much. I hope that's helpful information.
Yes, thank you. If you've been following the real estate market to any degree over the last year, it would appear as though interest rates have soared. While the interest rates are much higher now than they were in 2020 and 2021, interest rates in the 2s and 3s are extremely low, and that is basically like free money to get a mortgage. As much as we would all love to see those rates go back to where they were, that's just not going to happen. That's not reality. So we have to face the reality of where we're at now. Much like a diet, you have to focus on what you can have, not on what you can't have, in order to find a happy equilibrium. If you look at a chart of interest rates over the last several months, it will look as though it's a little bit of a roller coaster, but the general line hovers around 7.5%, which historically speaking is still not a bad interest rate. While there are many factors that surround the movement of interest rates, such as an election year, and no one has a crystal ball to tell you what it's going to do in the next several months, most experts agree that we will see the rates come down to somewhere between mid to low sixes by the end of the year. So what does this mean for you as a buyer or seller? Bottom line, it's a great time to buy and sell real estate. If you're a seller, it's a great time to list because new buyers will be entering the market with potentially declining interest rates. If you're a buyer, it's actually better to go ahead and focus on buying now before the spring and summer frenzy begins. As interest rates potentially do come down, more buyers will enter the market and that frenzy will begin on an already low inventory and it will cause a higher demand. As real estate professionals, we have all seen that buyers will want to kind of wait in the wings and wait for those interest rates to drop. As that starts to happen, the demand will increase on the already low inventory, and this could cause another surge in prices. So if you want to get in on a good home price, now is really the better time to try to secure that. If you've ever heard the term date the rate, buy the house, this is kind of where that comes from. It's the concept of you buy the house now that you want at a price that you're comfortable paying, and it may not be the interest rate that you want, but that's where the date the rate comes in. You can always refinance later as rates become more favorable. All right, let's move on to some more helpful information as you enter the 2024 market as a buyer or seller in North Georgia and North Carolina.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak about some current topics that are just kind of coming up over the last 6 months or so. One item is specifically related to Lake Chatuge. I'm not sure how many people are aware, but I do think that it is important to talk about an invasive weed that is more commonly known as Parrot Feather. It has just come about in Lake Chatuge in the last 18 months. I am excited to report that a group of local citizens and business owners as well as local government has gotten together. They have joined forces, which is something that I think we all can appreciate, that citizens, businesses, and the government can come together and unite on a common cause. They have now raised over $300,000 to treat this weed in 2024. So they expect, as we are now ending in February of 2024, by sometime mid-March they will start the treatment plan, and then they have raised enough funds that they will be able to spot treat throughout the lake, not only this year but in years to come. We do believe this will be an ongoing effort on this lake, but I am so encouraged by the support by local businesses and the community as well as the local governments to really jump in and join forces to make sure that all of the economic elements around the lake, the just pure enjoyment of Lake Chatuge is maintained for years and years to come. So as we also relate to Union County, over the last, again, I would say 18 months, short-term rentals has been a real hot topic in Union County, and the Union County government has come out with some regulations as far as short-term rentals are concerned within the county. So please, buyers, just be working directly, closely with your realtor, asking questions about short-term rentals. If this is something that you want to do on a property you're buying going forward, make sure you're asking about that. What are the regulations? What do you need to know? Make sure you have all of the information and that your agent is providing that to you, because it's something to definitely be aware of.
Yes, and I actually have a video all about short-term rentals, which we will link to this video, and I will also be updating that video within the next couple of months so that you can stay up to date with everything that's going on there. Whether you're looking to buy or sell real estate in the North Georgia mountains, you want to make sure that you're working with the right person. You want to work with someone that you can know, like, and trust, and someone that you know has your best interest at heart. You want someone that will answer the phone, listen to your needs and wants, and be able to work with those, and someone that can guide you through the entire process, buying or selling, because let's be real, this is your most expensive transaction. Ways that you can help prepare yourself for this process as you enter the market is having your financial affairs in order, making sure that you have your proof of funds letter ready if you're paying cash, or if you are going through the financing process, make sure to get with your preferred real estate professional and they connect you with their preferred lender to get your pre-approval letter ready. You'll also want to know your timeline. If you're looking to buy your dream home in the next couple of months, then this is the best time to start looking. You also need to know what it is that you want, but you also have to do this with tempering your expectations. I can't tell you how many times I've toured homes up here and gotten comments like, I love the view, but I don't like the house, or I like the house, but I don't like the view or the road to get here. I love the house, but it's a little smaller than I thought. There's always going to be a but. I cannot tell you how many times I have said that in the last couple of months even. The point here is that unless you're building your dream home and money is no object, there's always going to be a but. You're always going to have something that you're going to have to compromise on. So if you can temper those expectations up front, it will end up saving you a lot of heartache in the process. So the best thing for you to do is come up with a list of needs and also a list of wants, but be willing to be a little flexible on some of those things. Understand that there's probably going to be some things that you are going to have to compromise on, but remember, we've all had to do this. None of us have been able to come up here and get the exact house that we want with all of our wish list. It just doesn't really happen. So just remember, you're not the only one that's ever had to do that. Today we have the privilege of viewing and filming in this beautiful lake house home on Lake Chatuge in Hiawassee, Georgia at 1652 Stonecrest Circle, which is actually listed by Emily.
Thank you. Welcome. I hope you enjoy your tour.
All right, well, that is a wrap on our 2024 market update. Thank you, Emily, so much for coming out and joining me today.
It has been a pleasure. I really appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, I really appreciate all of the information that you have provided us with. And if you are looking to buy or sell in North Georgia or North Carolina, please feel free to reach out. I will provide all of our information for both of us, contact information, and all the ways that you can get in touch with us. So you just got to reach out. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.